think about God in terms of our struggles and our successes in life, for the believer, the expectation is that if God is a good God, then if anyone should be struggling and battling to thrive in life, then it most certainly should not be me if I'm living right and I'm living for Him. I believe the thought crosses all our minds sometimes that if I'm a child of God and I live my life within the parameters of the will of God, then I should be blessed. I certainly shouldn't be living below my potential as if God has taken a leave of absence from my life. If I were to be honest, I'd have to tell you that the struggle is real and my circumstances are real. But sometimes my struggles and my circumstances have me questioning whether or not God is real in my life. You know, someone once told me that uncertainty is a result of when we begin to look at God through our circumstances. But oftentimes I wonder what would happen if we began to see our circumstances through the eyes and the lenses of God. See, we only see life through the limits and the confines of our own worldviews and perspectives. But God's perspective is that all things work together for the good of them that love Him. You see, our perspective is horizontal because we only see the things that have happened in our past, and we base our destiny on the things that have happened in our past. But God's perspective is vertical. He's looking down and He's telling us that we need to look to the hills from where our help comes from, because our help comes from Him. You know, from where God is standing, there's not much He doesn't see because He's omnipresent. From where God is standing, there's not much He doesn't know because He's omniscient. As a matter of fact, He allowed your life to get where it is up to this point just so you can trust Him more. He says, I know the plans I have for you, saith the Lord. Those thoughts are for you to prosper, to give you a hope and a future. And you got to thank God for His providence, because He has everything in control, even when we can't see our own destiny. The Bible says, now we only see a reflection as in a mirror, but then we shall see face to face. It says, now I know in part, but then I shall know fully, even as I'm fully known. You see, no one knew about this striving between faith and uncertainty better than the Apostle Paul. You want to know about the struggle? Paul can tell you all about the struggle. You want to know about suffering? He can tell you about suffering. And if you want to know about the living in the overflow, he can tell you about all that too. Paul says in Philippians 4, I know what it is to be in need, and I know what it is to have plenty. He says, as a matter of fact, I have learned the secret to be content in any and every situation, whether well-fed or hungry, whether living in plenty